Coming up on Common Agenda.
We welcome you back from spring break by reminding you about finals.
But break ain't over yet.
What?
Stick around.
Welcome back, America. I'm your host, Chantelle Bacigalupo, and this is Common Agenda, the show that brings you the news, upcoming events, and more from around our beloved Emerson College. I hope you all had a lovely and restful spring break, which allowed you to hang out with all your friends and finally really get to know your parents. But I know you just spent it all trying to get caught up on all of the episodes of Common Agenda that you missed. Keep in mind, events are really only relevant to that week, so how about we do today's news, shall we? If you didn't already know, Emerson has some pretty talented singers roaming around our campus. The Emerson student singing group, Acapellix Anonymous, won first place in the quarterfinal round of the international competition of collegiate a cappella on February 23rd. Acapellix Anonymous beat out 3 a cappella groups from Northeastern. This was the first time Emerson was represented at the competition. The win means Acapellix Anonymous will compete in the ICCA's semifinal round on Saturday, March 29th at Berklee College of Music. And I'm just putting it out there that if they need an extra member, I'll be warming up in the dressing room. Our friends over on the West Coast don't have to worry about being so far away from the Emerson Channel any longer because Emerson Channel was just launched at the LA campus. That's right, the TV station that has launched numerous TV careers has now set up shop on the West Coast as well. Congrats, guys, and if you need this gorgeous correspondent to come over and show you the ropes, just book my plane ticket. And if you can't afford any tickets to send me over, I recently won a bet for a ton of frequent flyer miles betting on Gravity winning all of the non-fun Oscars and $20 that Jennifer Lawrence would fall again. Emerson alumni keep on leaving their mark in the theater community. Last week, Emerson graduate Michael Creighton was profiled by the New York Times in its prestigious theater section. The article was titled, "Talent You Won't Forget, 4 Faces to Watch in the New Season." Creighton received a BFA in acting from Emerson and is making his debut with Playwright Horizons in Stage Kiss. Way to go, Michael. Another Emerson faculty member was recently featured in the Boston Globe. Performing arts chair Malia Ben-Sisson and Guy Ben-Aaron were featured in the Names and Faces section on February 26th for their role as director and artistic director in Hard Love, an Israeli stage performance about the relationship between an ultra-Orthodox woman and newly secular man. Way to go, guys. Or should I be congratulating you in Hebrew? Mazel tov. It's pretty much all the Hebrew I know, other than that dog is fish. If any talented Emersonians want to do a performance entirely in Swahili, though, I've got you covered. Now, there's been a ton of hype surrounding the opening of Emerson's new LA campus. The sold-out gala celebrating the opening of the LA campus happened on March 8th. The gala was attended by some of Hollywood's elite, including Tom Bergeron, Sofia Vergara, Maria Menounos, Max Muchnick, and Norman Lear. The gala kicked off a week-long celebration commemorating the opening of the LA campus. The event was also broadcasted live online over the weekend, so unless you were stuck on an island with ridiculously warm climate and yet no Wi-Fi, you probably already saw it. Congrats, Emerson, LA, for making its mark on the West Coast. How did Hunter Reis spend his spring break? Why, rehearsing his next segment, of course. Let's see what he's up to.
Hey guys, today we're chilling and grilling with Dennis Connors from Emerson Social Peace and Justice. Good to have you here today, Dennis.
I'm glad to be here.
So before we start talking about your club, tell us how you spread peace and social justice in your own life.
Well, I try to spread a little peace and social justice by smiling at random people throughout the day and by listening to people.
A smile a day keeps the doctor away. So now tell us about your club. What do you guys do?
Okay, so Emerson Peace and Social Justice, also known as EPSJ, is a non-hierarchical organization at Emerson, meaning it's pretty much run by all of its members. Even though we have a treasurer and a president, the members really decide what we do and where we go.
So
we also focus on doing events that either talk about social issues or problems, such as lectures, or we have events where we go hands-on and try to make a change in the community.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about one of these hands-on events?
Okay, well, recently we had a guest speaker at one of our meetings, and we were able to write letters to Massachusetts politicians to ask them to help out in the clean energy initiative with trying to get rid of coal factories in the Massachusetts area.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
So how can Emersonians be involved in the club if they're interested in peace and social justice?
Oh, absolutely. We have meetings every Wednesday from 8 to 9 on the 10th floor of the Walker Building.
Okay, and do you guys have any social media outlets that we can join?
Oh yes, we have a Facebook, Emerson Peace and Social Justice, and we have a Twitter, Emerson Peace, at Emerson Peace.
At Emerson Peace, and they can follow you and like you there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what else have you guys been up to? I know you guys do a lot of screenings.
Oh yeah, right before break we had a screening of Blackfish, and coming up later in the semester we're going to have a screening of Misrepresentation.
Misrepresentation. So for those of us who don't know, can you just give us a brief overview of what that's about?
Misrepresentation is a documentary that tries to break myths about the feminine, about different stereotypes that is put on females.
Okay. So are you guys up to doing anything else lately? I know you guys have a strong membership getting there.
Oh yeah, we have about like 28, 30 people coming each week. Last semester, we were able to do a whole entire week on Theater for Social Change. So we're very proud of that, and we look forward to doing more events like that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dennis, for coming
no
today.
problem.
And now let's send it over to Ian Sutherland for our weekly segment, After Emerson. What have you got for us today, Ian?
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I'm Ian Sutherland with After Emerson, reporting for Common Agenda. Today, I was lucky enough to talk to Bill Neilinger, who works in the marketing department of a global finance company called Natixis. We were lucky enough to talk to Bill about some of the work he does at this company, his background in other areas as well as his time at Emerson College. So, Bill, what do you say?
Lucky to talk to me today. And as I said, you do a little bit of everything as a producer.
Bill, thank you for being with us.
Hi, thank you.
Of course, of course. So we'll start with your time at Emerson, as far as where you're at now in your field. What exactly did you study at Emerson College, and what year did you graduate?
My time at Emerson, especially in the new media program, you touch web, you touch HTML, you touch video, you touch audio. And I think now, if you study video, if you study film, if you study whatever, you end up touching everything. You're able to wear many hats, and that kind of differentiates you from a lot of people out there, and I think Emerson prepares you for that.
So can you give me an overview, or maybe a day in the life of what you do here at Natixis?
So I'm a senior video producer here and production manager. As anyone who might be in a producer role or in your producer here might understand that often, a lot of times, it's hurting people, it's hurting cats, it's getting information, it's contacting people. And then they could talk about, hey, you know, some financial stuff that I never knew until I started working in the financial industry. I mean, I went to Emerson, my SAT scores were high enough in math that I didn't have to take math. So being in the financial industry sometimes really cracks me up.
Do you have any advice for current Emerson students?
Get involved in organizations. I mean, that's how you'll learn. Learn to communicate, learn to tell a story, and treat your projects as it is your own personal brand. And you know, you don't understand that until you start working, really, is that people's perception of you is everything you do. You know, and you may not blossom now, and there may be people doing amazing things right now, but eventually there's something that brought you there, and you should pursue it.
I think for anyone who's passionate about what they do and happens to be an Emerson College student, I think they would glean a lot of advice from some of the words and input Bill shared with me today. We hope you enjoyed the interview, and once again, I'm Ian Sutherland with After Emerson, reporting for Common Agenda.
How's it hanging, Adele Dazim? Oh, sorry, that's just somebody I went to high school with. At least, I think that's her name. Never mind. The point is, I'm your correspondent, Claire Kerr, here to bring you the upcoming events. What do you get when you cross magic with donkeys, with love with bad theater? My spring break. Don't ask. But you also get the Shakespearean comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is currently playing at the Cutler Majestic Theater until March 15th. The play is being produced in association with the Handspring Puppet Company, which leads me to believe there may be puppets involved in the show. The only way to know for sure is to check it out. The show is about 3 hours long and contains content that might not be suitable for our viewers under 12 years old. I'm looking at you, Hunter. Now, we all love Emerson's comedy troupes, but it's extremely hard to attend all of their shows because we have so many groups. So much funny, so little available time. The good news is that tomorrow night, Emerson Comedy Workshop, Jimmy's Traveling All-Stars, Police Geese, Stroopwafel, and Swomo, and This Is Pathetic are all performing together in Swollen Stroopwafel, This Is Jimmy's Pathetic Emerson Comedy Geese. The even better news is that that's only really difficult to pronounce. The hilarity ensues tomorrow at 8 p.m. in the Cabaret. We'll see you there, Ren Beeler. You might also see Ren Beeler at this week's Bright Lights screening, although we have no way of knowing. This week in Paramount, you can take a look at Whitey Bulger, the infamous Irish mafia boss who spent 16 years on the FBI's most wanted list. Just to clarify, he won't be there, but there will be a documentary about him that will be screening. The film was made by Susan Gray, who has been working in documentary filmmaking for over 20 years and has produced documentaries for PBS, the Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and the Sundance Channel. If her resume was any more impressive, she would have my job. The film will be screening tomorrow from 7 to 9 with a Q&A with Susan afterwards. Who knows the way to a woman's heart? If you said I do, it's a free peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Then you were probably already aware of our next event. Tomorrow night at 6, the Emerson Maine Events is hosting their monthly Tasty Tuesday in the multi-purpose room. When you get there, all you'll be doing is making free peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I don't know why more events don't just stick to that simple plan. You put a bunch of people in a room with peanut butter and jelly, and it's bound to be a good time. Unless you're allergic to peanut butter, or if you're really weird like our executive producer who's allergic to jelly. And now for a weekly update on slam poetry. Tonight at 8, the newly formed Emerson College Cup C team will be holding their open mic night in the Cabaret. The team consists of Allison Truge, Kieran Collier, Maggie Dunlevy, Jonathan Mendoza, and Sierra Lister. We can also go ahead and punish whatever writer just made me pronounce 5 names in a row. Let's be honest, they were all educated guesses. Remember that all Emersonians are invited to perform and to keep your material under 5 minutes. You will not see me performing my rendition of 12 Years a Slave entirely in Ibanic pentameter tonight, but keep your eyes open because that's definitely coming soon. Remember to pick up Cupsy's official chapbook, So Many Bees, at the event for only $5. Stage Spotlight, that sounds like a game show hosted by Tom Bergeron. It's not. Instead, it's a look into the theater with Mariah Terry. Take it away, Mariah.
I'm Mariah Terry, and welcome to this week's Stage Spotlight. I'm here at the Boston Opera House to tell you all about their upcoming production of Cinderella, brought to you by the Boston Ballet. Recently, I went to their Back Bay studio to catch up with some of the dancers. Here's what we caught.
My name is Andres Garcia.
My name is Shelby Ellsbury. I'm a corps de ballet dancer with Boston Ballet, and I will be dancing
As a jeweler in the first act,
the role of a star
a court couple at the waltz.
and of the Spring Fairy in Frederick Ashton's Cinderella.
Being a member of the corps is really important. We frame the ballet. We kind of give the ballet structure around the central focus, which is the 2 principal dancers, obviously the prince and Cinderella in this case.
You know, there's a lot of camaraderie forms between the other girls in the corps, and you kind of just become a family. You're all in it together. You kind of just become one breath, one body. It kind of works together like that.
So it's a really group effort, but at the same time you have to find moments with yourself and your partner where you can kind of have fun, indulge, make it a little different. So it might not be the same each time in our approach and in our character, but in the steps and the musicality, it's always the same.
That is all we have for this week's Stage Spotlight, but if any of the stuff we talked about interested you, go to thebostonballet.org. And remember, there are discounted tickets for college students. See you next week.
all the time we have for Common Agenda today. I just want to say, on behalf of all of us here at Emerson, welcome back. We've missed you. Now get back to work and express yourself. Sing a song, dance a dance, call your father, just do whatever it is that makes you you. I should wrap this up. I'm your host, Chantelle Bacigalupo, signing off for today. But make sure you tune in Wednesday for another brand new episode of Common Agenda. See you next time.